Hey everyone, it's your pal here at Toyco Industries, and today we're going to be talking about what we've seen portable restroom operators do that makes them really successful. This is going to be a segment that's pretty much about, if you're new, you're going to find this really beneficial hopefully, or if you're just getting started, been in business for a little while. We're going to go over some of the different things that we've noticed that make a big difference for these guys. So this is going to be a 4-part segment. We're going to have one granddaddy that condenses it all together, but we're going to have 4 parts to this. We've kind of gone through this and identified 4 things that allow these guys to be successful and grow in a healthy rate. So the first thing on the list is be organized. What I mean by being organized is that can mean targeting a specific territory. So if you're just getting started, it's a jerk reaction to take every call and get as much business as you possibly can all over the place. You should try and refrain from doing that just because you're going to be spread thin. What you want to do is you're going to have different routes, right? So here in Utah, you might have a route in Ogden, and then that's Monday, and then Tuesday might be Layton, and then Bountiful and Salt Lake and what have you. You want to keep your customer base somewhat centralized, so sometimes the deals that you don't make are just as important as the deals that you do make. Now, something to take note of, and this is just across the board, this is going to change depending on how rural you might be, but your service technician should be able to do about 50 services per day. So that's a good number to kind of shoot for, and that'll let you know if you're way behind and you're wasting too much time driving around chasing business, or if you're kind of on the right track. So you'll only get that if you keep it kind of centralized. You're keeping all those businesses in one spot so you can hit more. Another thing with being organized is use good software. Use tools that are made in 2023. It's going to help you out a lot. Well, don't be the person that just goes off your memory and I remember that I'm going to hit this guy and it's sticky notes. I mean, utilize some of the tools that are inexpensive. Use your calendars, use your QuickBooks. There's a lot of good routing software, which coming out shortly we're going to be able to introduce to you guys, and we'll have our own routing software specifically for restroom operators. So give us a call about that, and we'll be happy to discuss that at length. Stay clean and stay reliable is what's next on the list that we've identified as something that's important. So what I have written down here is do all the simple, easy things right. If you can't do the simple things right and the small things, you'll never be able to do the big things right. So take a little bit of accountability in doing small things correctly. This includes setting up your voicemail. You'd be surprised how many companies that I call and they don't even have a voicemail that's set up. So you can really gain an edge just with that small thing. Another thing that I would recommend, if you have Bluetooth in your truck and it sucks and the window's down and you're rolling down the freeway at 80, then that's going to come across as unprofessional. And it's tools that are going to help you sound better on the phone are really pretty inexpensive. So make sure when you're on the phone, you have some kind of means to make it sound nice and clear and crisp, and it just comes across overall as being way more professional. Another thing that I have written down here is clean your toilets as if your daughter would use it. If you wouldn't feel comfortable sending your children or your daughter, in this case, in to use it, then you just completely restart. And you're small enough that you still have that kind of control over your business. Another tip is put your company name and your phone number on the portable toilet. And you want this logo to be really easy to identify. So think of it this way. You're essentially, that when that restroom's out there, it's essentially a billboard that you're collecting revenue from. So utilize that real estate and have a big company logo and a big phone number, because outside of that, all the other stuff, all the other services, it just makes it overcrowded and difficult to read. So you just as well utilize that, and they're immediately going to know that obviously you sell portable toilets and you rent portable toilets. You might do septic too, but just keep it big and simple and legible. Next tip, and this is probably the most important tip on the whole list, don't compete on price alone. Now, what you're seeing, if you're getting into this, you're seeing these different companies, the big dogs, and you're seeing that they might rent them out for something that's like ridiculously cheap. Like you've put in the numbers and you're wondering, how can we make money if we're doing it for this cheap? And you might be thinking to yourself, well, we have to cut the prices and they can get a better deal. Do not do that. It's bad. And this is why it's bad. As you may be small right now, just starting up, you will grow. Especially if you follow these tips, you will grow. But as you grow, you're going to have more and more overhead, and you're going to have a bigger building, and you're going to have more employees, and you're going to and it all slashing prices will never feed you. And then you're going to have to turn back around and then tell these customers that their prices essentially doubled. Then it's a lot harder to sell them on quality and service because they were paying half the price.